Alright, Shalom. It's your brother Yerusha Mar from the GMS Champaign, Illinois branch. For all things, I want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Makakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone. Salutations to the Akim that's pushing this truth with all righteousness and sincerity. Alright, Shalom. And yeah, this is another hit from the brother's page, Arrows of Indignation 144. And I'm going to filter it out with the scriptures. And Lord willing, this be edifying for the elect's sake.
This is from the cointelpro, right? So after that highlighted section I read, it said, is it not better to be a sports hero, a well-paid professional athlete or entertainer, or a regularly paid white or blue-collar worker, a peaceful human with a family, or a person who at least is being met by, a person who is accepted than a Negro who may have got even with the establishment by burning it down, but who along with this burned down his own home and gained for him and all his people the hatred and distrust of the whites for years to come. So in layman's terms, they're telling you, hey, go be an athlete, go be an entertainer, go get a regular job. You trying to get even with the establishment, we coming for you and your entire family and all your people that's close to you. This is the cointelpro. This is why no other race on the planet can talk to us about, man, we struggled too, we was enslaved. Y'all don't have no cointelpro. Where they trying to get your leaders out the way.
They got the
it's
green,
a big difference.
They got immediate green lights on us and any nigga that's arising with a conscience.
Yeah, they did that with MLK, they did it with Malcolm X, they had their phones tapped, they threatened their family, bombing their house and things like that.
Let me remind you of what your government is capable of when there's no oversight. This is a really important video, so I really hope you'll watch it through. cointelpro. It's an acronym. It means Counterintelligence Program. This is not ancient history. You or your grandparents most likely lived through this. And what the FBI did was more shocking than most people can remember. This was a program where the FBI forged letters, spread fake rumors, infiltrated churches and activist groups. They intimidated journalists. They tried to psychologically destroy some of the most effective civil rights leaders in the country. And none of this was conspiracy theory. This is documented line by line in their own files. When I say radicals, I don't mean people causing destruction. I mean the FBI's definition, which swept up civil rights organizers, students, ministers, anti-war advocates, Native American activists, women's rights groups, even journalists. In other words, people engaged in activities explicitly protected by the First Amendment. Inside that category, you had groups that chose different paths. Some leaned militant, sure, but many, like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the SCLC, the SNCC, people like John Lewis, they were rooted in disciplined, strategic nonviolence. John Lewis called it good trouble or necessary troubles. The FBI called it subversion. I mean, that's the heart of cointelpro. It wasn't aimed at only violent extremists. It targeted large numbers of Americans who were simply demanding that their government live up to its promises. And the tools the FBI used went far beyond surveillance. They sent forged letters to break apart marriages. They planted informants to stir up internal fights. They manipulated employers, landlords, universities. Some of this sounded familiar. To push the activists out. They encouraged police departments to harass organizers who hadn't broken any laws. Sound familiar? They spread anonymous...
And that's why we tell you, man, and that these devils, all right, these devils, want to infiltrate everything about you niggas, man. Hey, that's because they know that we are the Israelites, all right? All right, these devils have that perpetual hatred that they've had since we left Egypt, man. So this is Ezekiel 35:5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in their time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. It says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare blood unto thee, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. All right, so these devils are going to be paid back for all this, man. All right, all this is not going to go unrecompensed, all right? you will get punished for these things, man. And then you got, these other camps telling you the heathen can get salvation with us, man. Right? After all this wickedness, man. All right, but these devils, they always been plotting against Israel, man. So 2 Corinthians 2:11, least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All right, and that word devices goes into what? Ploys. All right, we're not ignorant of his plans. These things are being revealed. Psalm 64:8 speaks about, their tongue falling upon themselves. All right, as this dude who appears to be an Edomite, all right, may or may not be, all right, but that tongue is falling upon them, right? They're putting their own information out, their own shame is being revealed unto them, man, by their own people and by the prophets of the Lord. All right.
Rumors to the press to ruin reputations. In some cases, they tried to push people towards unaliving themselves, like Dr. King. It's a documented fact. One FBI memo described the mission clearly: expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit, or otherwise neutralize. Another directive warned agents to prevent a rise of a messiah who could unify the civil rights movement. That's a quote.
All right. You heard that? That's a quote. All right. They had to prevent a messiah, all right, from rising up. That's how you know that, man. We the Israelites. These people, they know, man. All right. They were terrified that a prophet was going to be rose up, right, and put a certain spirit on brothers, man. And they've known from past times that, Yahweh B'Shem Yah, anything is possible with the Lord, man. Anything is possible, all right? Letting you know what's going on, man. 2 Corinthians 13:8, for we can do nothing against the truth, but for it, all right? So you see with all these other groups, man, they all failed, man, because if it's of men, all right, it'll come to naught. All right, it'll come to naught. But this thing is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. This is not something they can stop, man. All right, because this is a spiritual thing, man. And the Lord, He's the King of all spirits, man. All right, we here, man.
That's the government talking about American citizens. And yes, journalists were in the crosshairs too. Not because they were violent, but because they were critical. The FBI watched reporters who questioned the Vietnam War or who uncovered corruption, who challenged the police misconduct, or who simply refused to print the government's preferred narrative. Sound familiar? Harassment meant surveillance, pressure on employers, strategic leaks to discredit them, and even nudging police to create legal troubles. Sound familiar? COINTELPRO also spanned 4 presidential administrations: Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, and Nixon. Okay? If it had been one president, you could blame ideology. If it had been one crisis, you could blame the moment. But the fact that it survived multiple administrations shows how hard it is to unwind the government machinery once secrecy becomes policy. I mean, look, Hoover didn't just run the FBI. He ran it for almost 50 years. And he used that power to shape domestic policy in ways the public never saw. 50 years. That's longer than a lot of us have been alive. And the only reason any of this came to light was because in 1971, a group of ordinary citizens broke into the FBI field office in Media, Pennsylvania, and stole the files and mailed them to the press. That's what it took to uncover the truth. Not internal oversight, not whistleblowers, not Congress, citizens breaking into an FBI office because every other guardrail had failed. That's the lesson. Power without oversight doesn't drift towards accountability on its own. It drifts toward abuse. And then it hides that abuse behind a wall of secrecy. COINTELPRO isn't ancient history. It's a reminder of how fragile rights can be when fear becomes policy and institutions forget who they serve.
All right, we're here, man. These are the times we living in. Hey, you got to know, Israel got to wake up, man. You have enemies, all right? Though hand don't join in hand, all right? The wicked shall not go unpunished. I believe that's what Isaiah the 29th chapter, if I'm correct. So, hey, Israel, you have to be circumspect, man. We're in the latter days, and hey, your enemy is watching, all right? Even so more than them, even so more than back then, all right? Hey, because brothers are on these streets teaching, man, and that's why they're coming with this digital ID, all right, to put you people in a digital prison eventually, man. All right, and have total control over you, man. Limitations 4 and 18. They hunt our steps that we cannot go into our streets, and our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Our persecutors are swifter than eagles of the heaven. They pursued us upon mountains, and they laid wait for us in the wilderness. All right, so Shalakia. All right, so these devils are what? Swifter than eagles, man. When you look at what represents what animal the United States government represents, what? The eagle. All right, you go back to ancient Rome, what? The eagle, right? Greece, the eagle. Germany, the eagle. All right, letting you people know, hey, who the Edomites are, man. These are the biblical Edomites, man. We're here, man. We got the last parts, man. And ain't no time to be getting weak. All right, but this devil, his mission has always been to separate you from your power, man. All right, to get you to go off, so the Lord will stop defending us in the midst of our sins. All right, Psalms 83:4 says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. All right, so that's the whole thing, is what? Hey, cutting us off from our heritage, man, so we can continue in sin. All right, when we live in righteously, the Lord, hey, he sups with us, all right, and puts us back as the rulers of this planet, man. Rightfully so. We're coming into those days as we speak. All right, and if anybody saying anything contrary to that, all right, then the spirit ain't dealing with them, man. It ain't. I'm gonna end it right here with Isaiah 8:20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. All right, and that's what it is, man. They're not speaking. Hey, what the MOTB is, the micro C hip. All right, telling you that the heathens are going into slavery. All right, all these weird doctrines that these people are coming with, man. All right, that Paul. You don't have to listen to Paul and John the Baptist wasn't in the truth, and all hypocrisy, man. All right, and blasphemy. All right, but I'm gonna end it right there. I don't want to rant too long. Hey, Lord willing, this was edifying for the elect's sake, who we endure all things for. So with that, I'm gonna give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakodas. Till next time, Akim Shalom.